All right, good evening, everybody. It's 7:08 here on January 25th, 2023, Wednesday evening here at the Primetime Building in Somerset Avenue. Officially call the meeting of the Dayton Zoning Board of Appeals to order. If you could just please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, before we get going, I just want to the board to take a brief moment of silence in the memory of Fisher, who was one of the developers we've had in town for a while. He died, passed away suddenly over Christmas break. So if we could just take a brief moment of silence to think about his family and what they're going through right now. Okay, thanks everybody. So the next thing we're gonna do is confirm the next meeting date. The next meeting date would have put us in the week of February. That would have been February vacation. But Carrie will be on vacation, as will Marguerite. And those are two key players that we would like to have at the meetings, or at least available if we were to need them. So we don't have anything on the agenda still as of right now, Carrie, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So that being said, I don't feel the need that we need to meet in February, especially if, I asked Carrie today if we were to move the meeting, but with planning meeting, it was gonna be hard to find a day that would work anyway, so we figured that March would be the next meeting. So what date would that be exactly, Carrie?
March 22nd.
Do we know where yet? Would it be here or?
It'll be here.
Does that work for you in the event that your case is continued? Would that work for you? Okay.
Yes.
All right, so that being said, we can go right into the order of business that we have next, public hearing. Special permit application for Rennie Noiseau, 2121 Elm Street, map 20, lot 113, case 04-22. We would need 3 voting members. Carrie, in a case like this, would I assign them? Because John would assign them and he's not here. I don't know the record of like who's been on the most recent cases. Like, I don't wanna try to point the same members, but
Let's
if you have everything right in front of you, if not, it's not a huge deal.
usually do. Throw me off guard.
Oh yeah, I guess I could probably just appoint the 3 members that we have
you could.
right here, so.
I don't think we have much.
Okay, so we'll have Susan Gray Pritchard, we'll have David Phillips, and Elise Vincent, the 3 voting members of this case. Just before we go into the case, do any of you guys 3 have any conflicts or any reasons to think that you will be able to vote? No? All right. Okay, so whenever you're ready, you want to go ahead and present me.
I'm sorry, before we do that,
Oh, sorry.
we need to do an official open, we have to do a motion to open the hearing, and then
Oh.
we have to read the public notice into record.
Thank you. Okay, so officially open the public hearing for this case. 0422. And Carrie, do you mind, I'm just kind of stuffy, do you mind just reading the notice for me?
Sure.
And this is as it appears in the Taunton Daily Gazette.
Yes. Notice is hereby given, the Dayton Zoning Board of Appeals will conduct a public hearing at Primetime Building, 1059 Somerset Ave, Dayton, Mass. On Wednesday, January 25th, 2023 at 7 p.m. on the special permit application of Randy, forgive my pronunciation if I'm wrong. How do you pronounce that?
He actually pronounced it very well.
No,
Yes.
Noiseau.
Yeah.
For property located at 2121 Elm Street, being shown as Assessor's Map 20, Lot 113, pursuant to Section 2430, non-conforming structures other than single and 2-family structures of the Town of Dayton zoning bylaw in order to extend the garage with insufficient side and rear boundary. Any persons interested or wishing to be heard on this matter should attend this hearing. Copies of the application are available in the Zoning Board of Appeals office, the Dayton Zoning Board of Appeals website, or upon request can be viewed by email by calling 508-669-6431, extension 114, or emailing keasterday@daytonma.gov. Dayton Planning Board, Zachary Karen, Chairman.
Okay, are you ready? Go ahead, sorry.
So I'm looking to extend the garage from its current position down towards the street, 7'6", in order to be able to use the garage for actual storage of the vehicle. Currently, the garage is 20 by 20 on the outside, but on the inside with the framing and everything else in, I can't currently fit a classic full-size car in the garage and have space for tools and other things of the sort. So what I'm looking to do I gave a plan, and in the plan shows where I am proposing to extend the garage down, which would be 7'6" from its current location down towards Elm Street itself, which would still leave 68-foot, 6-inch clearance from center of street to front of the structure. And I do not want to go any further left or right of the structure. I want to continue to stay within the same plane of what is there. And also in the exterior, we'll maintain the current clapboard or cedar shingle.
Do you guys have any questions for him, or?
It's not closer to your neighbor's house,
Yeah.
it's closer to the street.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see a problem.
I'm familiar with the property somewhat. I used to hang there when I was a kid at the dam a lot. Very familiar with the garage. I mean, basically, right now, you can fit a smart car in there sideways.
I know, I drove by today.
I mean,
Same thing.
if you look at the narrow, especially if you look at it from Main Street,
Yeah.
you can see the length of the garage, and you're right, your whole trunk would be out of any good-sized car, your trunk's gonna be.
It's a glorified shed.
5 feet.
I mean, seriously.
Currently, yes.
I noticed that, the two garage doors that are on the front, they look fairly new. Are you just gonna extend your two garage doors out the 7 feet, 6 inches?
No, so the current garage doors that are there, they painted them and made them look like they were better, you know. They are gonna be replaced,
Okay.
but they're not gonna be replaced with two. I'm gonna put one 14-foot door in instead of having the two separate garage doors.
Okay.
What's the reason, next question,
Sure, yeah.
what's the reason that it's 76 feet anyway?
Because there's I'm sorry, what are you asking?
Yeah, I'm asking anybody who knows the answer.
So there's a-
What was the question, sorry?
Well, why is it 76 feet, what's the wall?
So it's, not to interrupt you, it's 76 feet from
From the center line of the street.
From Elm
To the
Street.
center of the street, so.
Elm Street
what
to
is
the garage.
supposed to be?
It's gonna be 68 feet if he extends the garage out.
Sure, but
the
what,
center.
55 feet.
55.
it's supposed to be 55,
Minimum distance from center of street to structure is supposed to be 55 feet.
so not, right,
It's more because of the fact that if you're looking at the garage, on the left side, is only about 2 feet off the property line, so that doesn't conform with the 15 feet.
That's the part,
Structure.
that's the part that doesn't.
I see, so you're just extending an existing thing that's already too close to the property.
Yes,
Right.
not closer to the property line, closer to the street, but it will still ride that property line.
Right.
Right, so he'll still be far enough away from
I think,
the center line of the street. It's a very, my opinion, I'm not board member, but it's a very clear cut kind of case. It's just like, it's like, I think we're talking probably inches of a change, right?
As far as,
From the sideline.
yeah, I'm gonna maintain the same distance that it is now, I'm not gonna go any wider. So I'm gonna follow the same plane that the current garage is in, but just come to 7'6" towards the street.
Do any of the board members feel the need to drive by, I know you use the property, well, do you guys feel the need to drive by and see the property, or?
I think it's fine extending that 7 feet, 6 inches.
All right.
All right, obviously, do we have any butter correspondence that came in, that's what we turn to next, and I don't see any here, obviously, so. We didn't get anything, in writing or anyone voicing any concerns or questions. So that being said, the first thing we need to do is that, I need to hear a motion to close the public hearing aspect of the case. As a reminder of what this does, is that we can still continue to discuss it, we just can't take any new information in from the abutters or the applicant or from the town. So before we make a vote, we need to vote to.
Motion to close special hearing on Randy
The
Noisy,
public hearing.
public hearing, sorry.
Is there a second?
I second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so any final deliberation you guys feel to be discussed or anything?
Yeah.
Alright. Is there a motion on the floor to approve the special permit application for Renee Noizo, 2121 Elm Street, case 0422?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, you're all set.
Congratulations, Randy.
Thank you. I was worried about that, I really was.
Once I saw it, I was like, really?
How long have you resided in Dayton? This is your first,
So I grew up in Fall River. My buddy Jared, his mom Cindy lives in Dayton, and we have other friends that live in Dayton, and so I've been in Dayton as a kid. Pretty much.
I know your face looks familiar. We made eye contact and it's like, Dayton, you know, just kept
But
that.
it's always been, where we would always hang out is in places like Dayton, quiet,
Yeah.
no trouble, no problems. It's just, you can hang out and everybody's polite.
However, not so much. Not the politeness, but the, it's not like it's a quiet rural area.
It's just, I like privacy in the fact of if I want somebody over, I'll call them over. I don't want to look out my window and see my neighbor. I mean, I don't mind seeing my neighbor, but I don't wanna see what
Right.
they're doing in their kitchen.
Yeah.
So even where I was living in Fall River on Andrew Street, it's a pretty nice area, it's pretty well separated, but it's still a lot of noise, sirens, people yelling and screaming, and it's just, so we started looking and we bought the house from Laura Mar and her husband.
Yep.
Which, funny enough, we actually have some ties with people that we know. She used to teach the dance. One of her teachers was my mother's teacher when she was a kid for dance. So there's a bunch of weird random things that happened with that house. I built a handicap ramp for somebody out in Western Mass for a charity for somebody. Me and my wife went up there to do it. We're up there doing that. We go out for dinner. She wants to get ice cream. We start walking to the ice cream parlor. We get lost in Western Mass and it's just nothing but woods and random houses every mile or two. We got lost on Elm Street. As if that wasn't like
Yeah.
a sign, right?
Yeah.
So then, whatever, we're there, we leave. The day we leave, we wanna get food, we pull off the highway, or just a random exit, just something that Siri on the phone said there was food here. We stop, the restaurant is on Elm Street.
Wow.
Monday, the day we got home, they accepted the offer.
Awesome.
Meant to be.
Welcome to Dayton.
I know Glormore very, very well.
Get your feet full of the Dayton mud.
It's there.
The biggest thing is I appreciate you recognizing the fact that having to store your cars in the garage, in the driveway is an eyesore. I wouldn't say it's an eyesore so much to have a car there, but there are a lot of people who have garages, don't use them, and have everything sitting in their driveway, in their yards, and there's nothing against that. I think, that you have to have a certain number of reversion cars in the driveway, but I do appreciate you recognizing the fact that, it'll definitely clean up the property, so.
That's, my hobby is building things, that's what I like to do. Cars, metal fabrication, that's things that I enjoy. So I'm a superintendent, that's what I do. I pull permits and I do these things for a living, but in Boston. And in Boston, it's a whole different ballgame. This would have taken 2-3 hours to go through in Boston because of rules, regulations, why, how come, why can't you get a different car, why do you have to have that car? It turns into it's
Can they legally ask that?
I know.
that's just how it goes. It's a very different world between Boston, Quincy, Somerville.
Jeez.
It's not the same. It's, if they decide they didn't like that I used the red pencil, it can cause an issue.
Yeah.
So that's why I was nervous.
We're
Nothing to be nervous for.
We're friendly.
Alright, so you're all set. Carrie will square away with him, with the decisions assigned.
The extension?
Yeah,
So he's signed the extension, so I just need to talk to our attorney Marguerite to get a time frame on when she thinks the decision will be done.
Okay.
So what I'll do is, once I get that, cause I don't think it'll take that long, this is a pretty straightforward. As soon as I get that, I'll let you know, and then I'll scan and email the form that you signed with it properly filled out with the dates and stuff, and let you know. So then once the decision is drafted and approved, the board will sign it. And then we have a 20-day appeal period. So once that's signed, I always scan and send a copy, a PDF to you when it's time stamped in with the town clerk. And I'll let you know when that 20-day appeal period is over. And then once that's done, the 21st day, you can go to the town clerk, get a certified copy, and go have it registered at the registry of deeds.
Okay.
And then you'll be good to go.
I do have one other question.
Sure.
So I currently do have a permit on that property for the garage itself, because I started to do repairs to the garage itself on the section where I'm not going to be doing any addition work.
Yep.
Do I need to close that permit before this one gets opened?
I wouldn't think so. I don't see why.
I don't know why you would. You can double check with the building commissioner, Jim. I don't know why you would.
I wouldn't think that it would, but sometimes certain things, because now it would be two open permits for the same thing.
For the same thing. It
So
may,
I don't know if that would just become an amendment maybe to the permit and add the repairs to the addition.
Right.
which you may be able to do that. I'm not sure how he does his permitting part. Give him a call tomorrow. And I'll be letting him know that I'll be out tomorrow, but on Monday, I'll be in and letting him know that this was approved and we're in the process of writing the decision. But I don't know how he would handle that permitting part, so I would get in touch with him
Okay.
tomorrow.
I guess the only way that it would matter is if there are two conflicting things, like if one permit was to
Right.
make it smaller, or one was to make it bigger, then I can see why you might be like, well, which one are you going with?
Yeah, but I'm not,
Hypothetically, obviously,
Right.
but, so I don't, but even then, I don't, that would be okay, you know, I don't know.
right, but I'm not sure. I would confirm it with him.
Okay.
And ask him.
Alright.
All right.
So good, all set? Thanks so much. Alright, so we do have a couple other new business, well, sorry, old business items to go over. But we do need, just for the record, just, if you could just state reasons as to why you guys voted to approve this, so, cause whether we need that for the decision.
This?
Yeah, for this one. This, she needs to write, when she writes the decision, she likes to write like, why the board member said yes or no, if that was the answer. So just, reasons why that you, approve this.
Didn't affect his neighbor.
The reason I voted for him is so he can put his new project car in his garage properly and have his tools so he can reach his tools properly.
The same, and
Yeah.
also 7 feet 6 inches, I don't think is going to
Yeah,
really,
it's not.
Right.
even noticed.
So I mean, usually we get variances, not often we get special permits, but yeah. Alright, so we're gonna go on to the next item of business. So for both of these, Carrie, we're moving these both up, so 4B, I.
Yeah.
Both those are both being moved. We need to, they haven't been opened, so do we really need to vote to have them move to the second one?
I don't think so.
We haven't opened them, so we don't need a motion to continue them because we haven't opened them yet.
No, and it's not a public hearing either.
No,
No. I mean, if you want to state for the record, so that we have it in the minutes, that read their emails into record.
Sure, we can do that.
And say that, you know, per the applicant's request, we're gonna, table the matter to the March meeting, so that you have it on record. Probably would be the best way to handle it.
Sure. So this is, so sorry, regarding the, for Owen Kelly of Stonebridge Homes, Sawyer Ridge, the release of the bond.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you so much. This email was sent from Owen to Marguerite, CC Carrie, today at 8:33 a.m. regarding Stony Ridge Estates. Hi Marguerite and Carrie, I'm sorry, I would like to postpone to what looks like the March meeting for Marguerite's availability. Thank you for your patience, just take a little more time to recover from the December event. Sincerely, Owen Kelly. And just again, for the record, the December event, that was meeting, Fisher passing away. This is a project he was involved in, so.
Yeah.
Obviously, the firm is going to allow this, so regardless of we didn't need a reason, I mean, but that's why he just wanted us to know that was why he was postponing it, so. And then the next one, which was for Dayton Homes LLC for Dayton Woods, regarding the release of the funds under the performance agreement. This is sent, just trying to find the original.
I think if you go down to, I highlighted it.
Okay, yep, so it looks like this is from Michael Corey, to Carrie, Tuesday, January 24th at 1:25 p.m. Dear Ms. Easterday Marguerite, I must appear by Zoom at another previously scheduled zoning board hearing tomorrow night. May be heard at the next board meeting regarding the attached. We will have the revised 18th Amendment per Marguerite's request in her email from over the weekend, and will update the board on the status of the items that the board has identified as missing from its records. And then after that, you see Marguerite responding that she will not be here for February, and that she's available for March, and that's why this meeting is also going to the March meeting. I'm so stuffy. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is for the fiscal year 2024 proposed budget. Has everyone had a chance to look this over?
Yes.
Are there any questions if you guys open up your color coded copy of the 8.5 by 14 paper or 11 by 17? The green box there is what we are recommend, what the request is for the budget. Are there any questions as to any of the line items or? As you can see, there are things that were omitted that we just that we haven't used, such as travel, stuff like that. I mean,
Travel and dues and subscriptions.
that would have been if any of the members or the board itself was a member of some statewide or national-wide organization that we would pay dues for and get newsletters and conferences and all that kind of stuff. Not saying any kind of secondary educational things can't be done or can't be discussed at a later time, but that was always built into the budget by default, and we quite almost literally never used it. So that's why, that was taken out of because that would have made it in the budget, therefore paid for by the taxpayers for something that we don't use or don't need. So that was one of the things that is aggregated there. And then Carrie, for the benefits sick leave bonus, is that good?
Sick leave bonus, so that is no longer in the union contract.
I was gonna ask
so
if
that's
that was changed, okay. Is there any questions on this or feedback or anything that you think we should adjust?
So just so you know, the Board of Selectmen and FinCom have asked us to do our budgets with a zero balance budget and build it up from there. As you can imagine, it's kind of hard to do that, especially with our professional technical line. That's where we pay our legal fees. If we have an appeal, or a legal matter that comes up. So, I kept it at 10. I don't know how they're gonna respond to that, just because there's no way for us to even know.
We can't guess how much we're getting, we could use 0 or we could use 20.
Exactly, so.
It depends on what, when we don't have a decision to write and we don't have an appeal, we
then we give it back.
Right, we don't need it, so it's one of those things where if we go a whole year and never have a new case, and then hypothetically, we don't use it. Or we could have 4 every meeting, and we need 4 times the amount. So it's kind of hard for us to guesstimate how much it's not like we could, look at the previous years, how much we used and get an average. It's not something you can predict, really.
Right, so I did talk to the town administrator and he advised me just to stay status quo on that. Communications, I dropped that down to 200, because we actually, as you can see in FY '22, we spent about $82. We requested 500 for this year, we haven't spent anything yet, but what I do is communications, I use that to fund our postage account for the postage machine, and I haven't gotten a bill for that yet, we usually get that on a yearly basis, so that's why, we usually don't spend that much, so that's why I dropped it to 200 on that. And then office supplies, we really don't have a lot of office supplies, so I dropped that from 1,200 to 1,000. Good faith, I guess, if you wanna call it.
Office supplies is,
That could be anything from,
we don't pay for toner and ink, right? I would assume that.
no, that comes out of our,
Well, because to me, that's
Yeah.
the most expensive one that we probably would go for, would be toner and ink.
the only one that we do use, we do pay for, it would be the paper for our large planner copier, we have a large,
Oh, right,
a large one. So we have to pay for that paper. So, and we don't go through a lot of that. I mean, I've had to buy 1 roll in the 2 years that I've had it. And what I do is when I have to buy a roll, it's just split in half between the planning board and the zoning board. So, but I also, just in case, I don't know, God forbid something happens to the computer or,
that's part of office supplies too?
that would be part of office supplies.
So just out of curiosity then, on the paper that has the rationale, for professional and technical, it says IT matters, what's that for?
So IT would be if we had to have our IT guy come in
Oh,
and
okay,
fix something.
oh, okay,
So that would be for his professional services
I see,
to fix something, but I'm thinking of, as far as office supplies, I'm thinking like, I don't know, God forbid my monitor dies,
right,
right? So that's where I would take that out of.
gotcha, okay.
And everything else, we don't need travel, we don't need dues and subscriptions, so that's about it, pretty straightforward.
What happens to the money in the year that is excess?
So
The
monies that we don't
next year?
use, it goes back to the town and it goes back into the general fund.
That's fantastic, and then we just get the same.
So you can see the fiscal year 2023 budget was at $972.40. And then this year, it's going to be $39,722.40 at a change of $1,250 less than what it was the previous year. Which means, contributes to taxpayers paying less money, unless, hopefully every board goal is to go down, but, obviously they always speak on behalf of what our board does. So, I will make the motion that we approve the proposed budget for fiscal year 2024. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All right, public input. Obviously, we have none here in person. Is there?
What's that hat for?
Oh, did he leave?
That must be Randy's hat.
Oh, we're gonna put it there. He's not there. But you're right,
I think it is,
it's not mine.
I'll grab it, make sure you get it.
Do I assume we have no public input over the computer? Nor correspondence?
Nope.
Is there a motion on the floor to approve the meeting minutes from October 26th, 2022?
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from October 26, 2022.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Alright, anything else you guys got? No. No bragging rights, it's quiet.
Try to speak as much as I could.
You can always do, but you can. Alright, is there a motion to adjourn?
There is a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, well, just kidding. Everyone has their copy of the new bylaws, right?
Yep.